Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We will talk Cavs, and we'll talk the NBA trading deadline, and we'll talk about the Browns, talk about the big rule changes that could be happening in Major League Baseball, and other things, and all sorts of other things. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. It is a golf trivia question. Who was the first golfer to reach $1 million in career earnings on the PGA Tour? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. Excuse me. The Cavs lost to the Boston Celtics 103-96 last night at Quicken Loans Arena. Colin Sexton led the Cavs with 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Alec Burks, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And Larry Nance Jr., 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. The Cavs led by 2 at the end of the first quarter, 30-28. The Cavs were down by 8 at halftime, 59-51. In the third, the Cavs were down by 6 at the end of the third, 85-79. And in the fourth, the Cavs cut the Celtics lead to 101-96, but the Celtics just would not go away quietly. The Celtics scored one more and went up 103-96, and the Cavs tried to score one more time in the final seconds, but the Celtics had enough finesse to go on and win by the final 103-96. Excuse me. The Celtics go to 36-9 on the season, and the Cavs fall to 11-43. The Cavs will be back in action on Friday when they will take on the Washington Wizards at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio. And the Cavs will play the Indiana Pacers in Indiana on Saturday, and that will be back-to-back games on both Friday and Saturday. Now, the Cavs have the worst record in baseball in the NBA, and we are suffering right now. And we all knew this was going to happen after LeBron left and after Kyrie left. Cavs owner Dan Gilbert should have had a plan when this happened, but Gilbert did not have a plan of what he needed to do after this had happened. And that's why the players and we fans are suffering right now. Now, the Cavs went to the NBA Finals 4 times, and we did win an NBA title in 2016, and that ended our 52-year drought, and that was thanks to LeBron James. Now, that 52-year drought is over. Now, and with the Cavs trading Rodney Hood to the Trailblazers, I felt that that might have been a good move, might have been not, and I wish him the best. But yeah, he didn't get enough playing time here in Cleveland, I don't think. And I don't think he was probably saying he didn't enjoy his time in Cleveland, but maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I just feel Gilbert should have had a plan, and he just did not. And the Cavs are not going to be going for lottery picks, and they've got to find a player that's ahead. Ron Harper ahead, Craig Elo ahead, Steve Kerr ahead, LeBron James ahead, Kyrie Irving ahead, Brad Daugherty ahead, Larry Nance Sr. ahead. That's what you need. You've got to have a player that is going to be ahead. Now, the Browns have had a turnaround this season with a 7-8-1 record despite all of the coaching and quarterback changes the past 2 decades and the past winless season we had a couple of years ago, actually last year, and the 1-15 season a couple of years ago, excuse me. And don't think things are going to get better anytime soon. Don't even think that. And with all the moves the Indians have been making during this off season, these moves may or may not be good ones, but they could turn out to be good ones. You never know. And the fact they're trying to find a center fielder. Actually, they did sign one, and they're just trying to really see if he's going to be able to do the job. And we came so close to winning the World Series in 2016. And, I mean, it's great and all, but it's not going to end anytime soon. And if you think it is going to end anytime soon, and it's just going to be and if you think it's going to be this is going to last just a short time and end anytime soon, that's what I meant to say, then you are just kidding yourself. So don't think it's going to end anytime soon, and just do not. And because it's going to be a long stretch, by all means it is. Now turning to the Browns, former Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar is a believer in current singular Browns current quarterback Baker Mayfield. Kosar spoke glowingly about Mayfield in a brief media session prior to the start of the 19th Greater Cleveland Sports Awards at the Renaissance Hotel Ballroom on Wednesday night, which actually that's tonight, just before the start of it. And Kosar, Baker, he has been fantastic, phenomenal. How he's played, Kosar said, it's amazing that a kid in his early 20s like this could command such a leadership. And the way the older guys and the younger guys look up to him. Kosar said, I see a bright future for the Browns, and I am really looking forward to next season. And I am too, but I do feel that the Browns are going to make the playoffs, and I feel they are. And Kosar said that the Browns should think that the Browns fans should feel that the Browns are going to make the playoffs, and they should think the playoffs for next season. And so we shall see, and I'm really looking forward to next season as well. There could be some big major rule changes in Major League Baseball that would impact the league on and off the field. An official knowledge of negotiations was confirmed by sources to USA Today Sports, excuse me. One being any starting pitcher would have to face at least 3 batters before being yanked if he would falter in any of the innings, per se. Some of the other dramatic changes include a universal designated hitter, a 3-batter minimum for pitchers, and a 20-second pitch clock. Other proposals include a trade deadline before the All-Star break, the expansion of rosters to 26 players with a 12-pitcher minimum, draft benefits for winning teams, and penalties for losing teams. Regulations that two-sport amateurs like Kyler Murray to sign a major league deals, and a study to lower the mound and the pitcher's mound in the majors. Now, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Mansfield is really keeping his eye on all this, and these negotiation deals do not expire until 2021. But with the pass in 2017 and 2018, I feel there could be some big changes, and he's really keeping a close eye on this. So we will let you know if these changes will go into effect when it becomes available. The NBA trading deadline is less than 24 hours away. Actually, we'll talk that in just a moment, but it is less than 24 hours away. But first, it is now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the first golfer to reach $1 million in his career earnings on the PGA Tour? If you said Arnold Palmer, you are correct. In 1967, Arnold Palmer became the first golfer to reach $1 million in career earnings on the PGA Tour. He became a charter member of the World Golf Hall of Fame in 1974 and was inducted to the PGA Hall of Fame in 1980. Palmer's rivalry with Jack Nicklaus during the 1960s is often credited with turning golf into the major spectator sport that it is today. And I will have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, as I just mentioned, the NBA trade deadline is less than 24 hours away, and there's already a handful of deals that have taken place, and talks of other deals will continue as we close in on the official trade deadline on February 7th at 3 p.m. Reports say the Miami Heat will send shooting guards Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington to the Phoenix Suns for veteran forward Ryan Anderson, according to ESPN. The Philadelphia 76ers have acquired Malachi Richardson from the Raptors just hours after officially acquiring Tobias Harris from the LA Clippers to the Philadelphia 76ers. And the 76ers have swung another trade a little bit smaller. And we will find out all of the NBA trades when the NBA trade deadline goes into effect tomorrow, February 7th at 3 p.m. And finally, one more thing before I go. I want to share something, a sports moment, that I had happen that I did on my bowling league that I bowl on this past Saturday, and that was it was during my first game, and it was the fact that I bowled my very first 200 game A201, and I was just, when I saw it come up on the screen, I was just so excited, so ecstatic about it, and I just celebrated it wholeheartedly, and it just was a big moment just for me that on my bowling league this past Saturday. And I'm just so happy to have bowled my first 100 game because I was so determined to do it. It took me a long time as well. Well, that is just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I will be back with another podcast, hopefully on Friday. So until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.